What up, people? Kamario's here. Welcome to the Finance Rebel Show. Y'all know every Wednesday we do Wealthy Wednesdays where I answer your money questions, tax, stock, business, entrepreneurship, real estate, whatever you got, whatever you want to talk about, I answer it. So go ahead and throw those questions in the chat and we're going to get after it. But y'all know I've been doing a little bit of a new format now. So I always bring a topic to talk about. And today will not be any different. So today we will be talking about Queen Rihanna, Queen Riri, hitting that billionaire status, and also wanted to talk a little bit about Equal Pay Day. So yesterday, August 3rd, was Equal Pay Day for Black women. So we'll definitely get into that as well. And I see a couple people who are coming into the chat, getting busy. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and share mine out while we have a chance before we get into it a little too deep. But Latoya say, how you doing, Latoya? Nicole say, how you doing, Nicole? How's everybody doing? I got some people up on the Instagram team. All right, give me a minute and I will see who's up on YouTube as well as Facebook. But give me a minute, y'all. I'm still getting used to this new setup. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting there. It's getting better. It's getting better. But it takes some time. And I swear I hate this new setup because I don't have all my monitors. But I'm not going to complain because it could be much worse. I could have no setup and I could not talk to you all. So I'm not going to complain. Not going to complain. All right, so Toya says happy for her, but we never get new music. Yeah, well, it's funny. I've been hearing a lot of entertainers talk about this. They haven't been motivated. They haven't been inspired to talk about music during the pandemic, to get into the creative flow of creating music during the pandemic. So it's rough. I mean, I know even for me, just dealing with stuff with pandemic, COVID, we might be getting a new spike again. It's rough for me. I don't want to do anything, and people always got something going on, but I don't even want to do anything. So I probably need a long-awaited vacation. Not probably. I know I do. But we'll see. We'll get there. We'll get there real quick. So let's see. RVA Fatboy 804. How you doing? Welcome. So give me a second, y'all. I'm going to share this out. We're going to get it popping as we're waiting for everybody coming in. What do y'all think about the new setup? Yeah, I don't care. Just as long as I get on, right? Y'all don't care. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna share this out to a couple places, and we're gonna get it rocking. Keep it motivating. Anybody watch Versus yesterday? I think that has definitely been the highlight of my week so far. Great performance by the Locks. Great performance by Dipset. Better performance by the Locks. Especially a better performance by Jadakiss. But good performance by Jewels. Freaky. Well, I don't know what Freaky was doing, but Jim Jones and Cameron. So it was a good look. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. All right. So let's see. Give me a couple more seconds just to share this out real quick. As y'all know, the algorithms be hating on me. But I'm going to keep fighting the good fight. Keep fighting the good fight. All right. If y'all have any questions, any money questions, stock, taxes, business, real estate, any questions you have, go ahead and throw them in the chat. And as we get going, I will definitely answer them. So let's see here. Try Stan Suarez. How are you? Welcome. This is Wealthy Wednesdays for everybody who have never seen me before. This is your first time joining us live. I'm here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Tonight I'm super late. Please forgive me. But I come here for free every week. So give me a little grace. Just a little bit. Give me a little grace. But every Wednesday we do Wealthy Wednesdays. This is the Finance Rebel Show. And we answer any of your money questions. Any questions you got, we go ahead and answer them. So if you have any money questions, stocks, taxes, business, real estate, go ahead and throw them in the chat and we'll get at it. And we will get at it. Alrighty. All right, so let's see what we got going on. All right, so we got Dave Foster in the building. What's up, Dave? Philly's top real estate investor, Philly's top real estate agent. How you doing, Dave? Sheena Alexander, how are you doing? Happy Wednesday to you as well. Don Johnson is in the building. What's up, Don? All right. Well, we talked about Robinhood last week, right? Last week. And then it went live. It went live last Thursday, right? The day after I talked about it. And it broke. It was a broken IPO, meaning that it didn't exceed the price that was initially set for it. And then folks got busy with it. Last couple of days, sucker's been up over 128, over 120. I think it's actually more than that now, but over 128 percentage points. So if you put $1 in, let me rephrase that. If you put $100 into the IPO, the Robinhood IPO, that money would now be worth about $228 ish, somewhere around there. But we can definitely get into that. Hey, Miss Edith, how you doing? Welcome. Happy Wednesday. So tonight we are going to be talking about Queen Riri, Rihanna. It's $1 billion. She got $1 billion in the bag, y'all, or approximately $1 billion in the bag. But that's what they said. And then we're also going to be talking about Equal Pay Day for Black women. Now, I'm going to say this. I am utterly shocked and equally appalled at how many men don't realize that Black women get paid so less in comparison to white men. I find it appalling. I find a lot of men that say that they don't believe that there is any pay equity or a pay disparity or pay inequality amongst Black women and men, especially white men. But I don't know what they've been reading. It's kind of baffling. I mean, it's been a thing for a while, and you kind of see it all over the place. I mean, I don't know how people argue some of these so-called facts or what they feel so-called facts. But at any rate, again, it was Equal Pay Day for Black women, August 3rd, yesterday. I wasn't on yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to talk about it. But I wanted to talk about it today because it's important. Black women still do not get paid their worth. So when Beyonce say, pay me or pay me in equity, she meant it and she should mean it. And all Black women should mean it because oftentimes Black women are not recognized for the value that they bring to the table in the workplace and even in their own businesses. I know I have a lot of women clients, a lot of Black women clients, and they always complain about how people are trying to take advantage of them. So it's a real thing, y'all. It is a real thing. So make sure that when you are dealing with the sisters, treat them right, treat them with respect, and pay them accordingly. Pay them to their value, not to what you think they're worth. All right, there's a big difference. JT Coins, how are you, sir? Welcome. But listen, as we get ready to get going into this week's segment of Wealthy Wednesdays, do me a favor, share this out with a person, 2 or 3, anybody who's looking to increase their financial IQ. Y'all know this is the place to be. So again, I'm Kamari Ellis. If you don't know me, if you haven't been here, this is the Finance Rebel Show, and every Wednesday we do Wealthy Wednesdays where I answer all of your money questions. So let's just get it started and get it started right. So we're talking about Equal Pay Day for Black women. All right, 63 cents. Black women make 63 cents for every $1 that white men make. 63 cents. So I'm sharing up on the screen right now from the org Equal Pay Day or equalpaytoday.org, which covers a lot of the income disparities in women, but especially women that are Black women, Latino women, and white women. They all get the shaft, but Black women get it almost the worst. All right, so you see right up here right now on the screen. I apologize for people listening to the replay on the podcast, watching on Instagram, but y'all see the stat, and this is well researched. The stat says Black women make 63 cents for every $1 that white men make. So for all of y'all watching, what do y'all think? Why do y'all think this is good, bad, or indifferent? I think it's bad. I think it's trash. We all know the value that sisters bring. It's sad with it being 2021 that they still had to fight for fair pay, equal pay, equitable pay. So it says here, Black Women's Equal Pay Day is the approximate day a Black woman must work into the new year to make what white, non-Hispanic men made at the end of the previous year. Based on the ACS census data, the 2021 wage gap for Black women compared to non-Hispanic white men is 63 cents. All right, so just to give you all a little bit of context. All right. But it's sad that we're still have to do this, and we know Black women hold it down in the Black community. Oftentimes we have a lot of single parent homes. Oftentimes they are ran by Black women. And so if Black women are getting shorted on their jobs in terms of pay, that means largely our community is being shorted at home when the paychecks come home. So, that's something to really think about. That's definitely something that's going to impact our community. And it's something we want to keep an eye on. All right, so I see a couple more people have joined. Homes by Belinda, Awakening Red Goddess, and Tierra Chantellis. Welcome. If I said your name wrong, I apologize. Charge it to my head and not my heart. But that's crazy. I don't get why, it's 2021 and we still have to fight for all of these things that are fair. Now, I always tell my children there's no such thing as fair, right? But most of you all here are adults. You understand what I mean when I say fair. Now, I do believe you only get what you negotiate. You only get what you can fight for. You only get what you put up the fight for, right? Again, nobody just wants to give anything, even if it's equitable, even if it's fair. A lot of people just want to keep all the money that they make in their pockets, or all the money that their company makes in their pockets, even though there's a lot of people, a lot of Black women who deliver, that's the word I'm looking for, y'all, deliver a lot of value, right? If they get paid $1, they normally are helping to return or create $5 in return, $10 in return, sometimes $100 in return. So it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so Awakening Red Goddess says, which is so odd because Black women are the most educated in the country. They are, but they are also turning the tide, right? We still got a lot of inequalities, generations and generations and generations of inequalities that we're battling. So it's still a thing. It's still a thing, right? And so Black women still have to fight, sadly. So we as a community have to figure out how to better support our sisters, support our Black women, so they can bring more money home. I don't think anybody's going to question at this point in time if we need 2 income households. Now, it would be great if you only need 1 income, right? But in this day and age, especially with home prices, bread prices, gas prices going up, you kind of need 2 households, unless somebody just got lucky and hit the lottery or found some old rich uncle or auntie that they just discovered, right? But most people need 2 income households. So, like I said, most of us have 1 income household. So it's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, y'all. Renee KH, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, Trey? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. All right, I see a few more people here have joined in the YouTube verse and the Facebook verse. Jody says, "What's up, African? How are you, Jody? What's up, African? Back to you." By the way, we lost a real one, y'all. Dr. Renuku Rashidi passed either yesterday or the day before. Great historian. Did a great work. He did a great work. He was in the lineage of Dr. Henry Clark. So if you guys have not heard of them, look them up. Dr. Henry Clark and Dr. Renuku Rashidi. They just passed. Did a lot of work as it relates to Black history worldwide, not just in the United States. Hey, Shauna, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What up, Jose? How are you, sir? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday to everybody that is in the building. Tunji Design. Did I say that right? What does that mean? I'm really, really curious. All right. But as I was just saying, equal payday for Black women is important. Again, 63 cents for every white man's dollar. All right. It takes a Black woman till August 3rd this year to make the same amount of money as a white man will make. So that's a problem, y'all. That is a major problem. All right, so I know we got a couple questions. I know Don had thoughts. My thoughts on Robinhood, the Robinhood IPO, and the recent new prices. We talked about the Robinhood IPO last week, right? We went over the whole S1. The S1 is what is delivered by the company to the SEC to detail what's going on in their delivery of their IPO. By the way, IPO stands for initial public offering. Again, initial public offering. So don't forget that, y'all. But we'll get to that. We will definitely get to that. So let's see. All right, next thing we wanted to talk about is Queen Riri. Queen Riri done hit a billion, y'all. She didn't hit $1 billion valuation. So it doesn't mean that she has $1 billion in her bank account, but her net worth of her companies are estimated to be at $1 billion. So let's pull this up real quick so we can jump into it. I'm a Rihanna fan because I think she's just so laid back, so cool. She clearly puts on, right? Like we know that she clearly puts on, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like she's too diva out, right? She's not all up in trying to be the baddest diva in the land. She just wants to be Rihanna. All right, so Fenty Fortune. So many of you probably know Rihanna has been making money doing music, acting, modeling. Obviously, she's a beautiful woman from the islands, but she's also ventured into business ownership, right? In partnership with a few other big firms, but they are saying that it is estimated that she is now officially a billionaire, as you see up on the screen. So Riri, Queen Riri, is hitting the $1 billion status. So that's pretty dope in my opinion. Did any of y'all know that? Now it seems like Fenty is selling like hotcakes. Everybody wants it. And she kicked in the door. Again, she wasn't really into makeup, right? But she figured out a way to get into it, reinvent herself, and now is a business owner. Now I know this is a partnership deal. And let's jump into the article a little bit just to make sure I am citing facts, right? All right, so title, How the Singer Became the Richest Female Musician on the Planet. Hint, it was not from performing. So I think it's really, really dope when we can see these brand magnets, these super brand folks, or these folks with super big brands, take their brands and then parlay it into an actual business, which helps them multiply their wealth 5 times, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000-fold. So it's pretty dope. So the article states when Robin Fenty, I didn't know that was Rihanna's name. Robin Fenty, known to the world as Rihanna, launched Fenty Beauty in 2017. She sought to create cosmetic companies that made women everywhere feel included. Y'all know what that's about. A perhaps unintended consequence. The beauty line has helped her enter one of the world's most exclusive ranks. Billionaire. All right, so Rihanna is a billionaire, y'all. That's pretty dope. So Rihanna is now worth 1.7 billion. 1.7 billion, according to Forbes estimates. Now, Forbes sometimes gets it wrong, but they tend to be in the ballpark. All right. So it's making her the wealthiest female musician in the world, and second only to Oprah Winfrey as the richest female entertainer. But it's not her music that made her wealthy. The bulk of her fortune, an estimated 1.4 billion, we have to enunciate the B in that billion, y'all, comes from the value of Fenty Beauty, of which Forbes can now confirm she owns 50%. Now, before they were talking about her and saying that, oh, she's just the brand, she's just the face. She owns 50%. Yes, I said 50, not 50. 50%. Y'all know who the show is for. Y'all know, y'all understand, right? So much of the rest lies in her stake in her lingerie company, or lingerie, for some of us that like to say. Savage X Fenty was worth an estimated 270 million, and her earnings from her career as a chart-topping musician and actress. So that's pretty dope, y'all. That's pretty dope. So the article just goes on to talk about, Rihanna being from Barbados, having a 50-50 share with Bernard Arnault. And Bernard Arnault, I think I'm saying his name right, is the CEO and head of LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. LVMH stands for Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. So it's a super big company. If anybody knows anything about Hennessy or about Moet or even LV, the Louis that many of us love to put on our backs and on our bags, right? So Rihanna has partnered with them. I think it's pretty smart for her to do that. Take somebody else's money and leverage that up to get to the $1 billion blockade. So clearly she smashed through all that. Now here we are looking at this picture with her and ASAP Ferg. So all y'all know I'm a big hip hop head. So ASAP Ferg is one of the members of ASAP gang. ASAP Rocky. That's not ASAP Ferg. ASAP Rocky, in the ASAP gang from Harlem, New York. So apparently they've been seen running around town, but I really don't like talking about people's love lives. But this is just a quick little aside, right? Because he's definitely millionaire status. She's billionaire status. So you could bet if they stay together, they would definitely be making some more power moves. Definitely making more power moves. So Black women's equity, right? Or Black women's equal pay day. Very, very important. Very, very important. Now, as I took all the time to look at this and research this, I said, well, who are some of the other Black women who are knocking it out the ballpark, who are killing the game, and who are making that money? So there's a lot more. Everybody talks about Oprah. Everybody talks about Beyonce, but there's more. There's more. So I wanted to go over some of them because, we're getting ready. I know there's some questions in the chat. We will definitely get to them. But I think it's important to highlight Black women as much as possible all the time. I love Black women. So you'll never see me out here talking crazy and greasy about Black women like many other of us like to do. Y'all mentioned some of the folks here. We're not saying no names, though. We're not saying no names. All right, Wave Lord 14, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Joe Ohana, I hope I said your name right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, for all of you who are just now joining, I'm Kamari Ellis. This is the Finance Rebel Show. Every Wednesday, we have our Wealthy Wednesday segment. Wealthy Wednesday segment is all about answering your questions. But sometimes I like to bring in some prompts to get you guys started, just to make sure we make the conversation lively and robust. All right. Have a little bit of something to talk about. But if you have questions about stocks, taxes, business, anything of the like, anything about money, go ahead and throw it on the table. Put it in the chat and we will get to it. I don't think I've been stumped many times during my broadcast there. And I'm here every week at 8 p.m. or 8 p.m. ish. Today I got here a bit late, y'all. I've been working, trying to catch up. So it's I get delayed. But listen, the show's free. So nobody got gypped for paying admission. So you get this look at my beautiful face and hear my wonderful voice for free today. All right, so listen, if you have any questions, again, go ahead and throw them in the chat. Y'all know we'll get to them. Don Johnson has a question, and we will definitely get to it. But I want to show this real quick, this last piece real quick. And by the way, while you're waiting for me to bring up the next article, go ahead and share this broadcast with someone who wants to learn about money. Because the whole point of the Finance Rebel Show is to help people increase their IQ. Again, increase their IQs. What's up, Jay Black? How you doing? Jay Black, we still on for next Monday? That's my homeboy Jamal, y'all. We went to school together many, many years ago. Now he's been working in radio for years, and he is working with Michael Sean. And so they bring me on from time to time. And so Michael Sean threw me on the spot last week and asked me would I come on regularly and do I think an hour-long segment, 45-minute segment, but something weekly. So we have that on deck. And so I will be on with, what is it? Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends, I believe, is the name of the show. Streaming on Apple, YouTube, Facebook, Roku. They're streaming in a lot of places, y'all. Definitely streaming in a lot of places. All right, Stephanie Jones is in the building. How you doing, Stephanie? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so y'all see we got this on the screen, right? I always tell y'all it's important to talk about black women. Black women rock. If it wasn't for a black woman, I wouldn't be here. And a black man, too, for the record. Got to give equal credit to the men and the women. But here it says richest black women in the world 2021, right? So there's a lot of rich black women out there getting that bag. A lot of them. Of course, Oprah is the queen, right? But that's one. But I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about more since it is Equal Pay Day for black women as of August 3rd, right? But number 10, and this is an article I'm reading from on Yahoo Finance. So number 10 is Serena Williams. Serena is estimated to be worth $225 million. That's a lot of change, y'all. That's a lot of cheese. It's a lot of cheddar. All right, y'all know what Serena does, right? Plays tennis, acts, models, business owner, right? So she's out there doing it, multifaceted, multi-talented. All right. Next on the list, number 9, Janice Bryan Harreld. I always forget how to say her name, but this lady is the CEO of Act One. Act One is a staffing agency, so a lot of people don't know about her, but she has been sharing more and coming out of the closet a lot more in terms of teaching and sharing interviews and so forth and so on. But again, she's worth $285 billion. Now she's seasoned. She's up there, right? So we see Serena's at what, 225. If Serena keeps going at this pace, she's probably going to be able to eclipse Miss Howard. All right, but she started a staffing company. Very, 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 from very, very humble beginnings. So listen, I like to bring these up oftentimes, right? Because nobody really talks about black stuff on media. Nobody really talks about black business owners on media. Well, prior to 2020, right? Now everybody's pandering and talking about black folks because they want to try to stay in black folks' good graces. Talk about pandering. Talk about pandering. But all right, so the next one is a Wendy Applebaum, estimated to be worth $310 million. Now, this sister is from South Africa. She's a business mogul over there. Made a lot of money in insurance and real estate. There's a lot of money to be made in insurance if done right. If done right. Beyonce coming in at number 7. Net worth $500 million. Now, I always wonder if they actually take a little bit of Jay's money and put it on Beyonce, or take a little Beyonce's money and put it on Jay-Z. I wonder how that works, because they're like the super couple, right, that everybody talks about. So I wonder how that works. But everybody knows Beyonce, right? Destiny's Child, She's making a lot of moves. I know she's a business owner, has a clothing line, and several other things. And her tours are the bomb. So Beyonce right now probably, and I know y'all might get at me about this, but Beyonce right now might be the greatest entertainer on the planet. Might be. We still got Queen Riri, right? And that's what we was talking about. But she might be up there. She might be up there. All right, so this is Ngina Kenyatta. All right, this is another sister from Kenya. Kenya's first president controls some of the largest privately held land holdings in Kenya. So that's pretty dope. Rihanna coming in at number 5, $550 million. $550 million. Now, we just talked about Rihanna. Fenty has definitely crossed her over into the billionaire status. That is the thing that got her across that big B line, that billionaire line. And y'all know I always talk about focus. So Rihanna don't do a whole lot of stuff. And so she's able to focus and really take her stuff to the next level. Now, I am not sure how to say this lady's name. Hajaja Shagiye. And I'm not trying to be funny. I think that's how it's pronounced. But she's a Nigerian businesswoman worth over $700 million. So again, that's dope. There's a lot of women out here getting to it. Sheila Johnson, $770 million. Again, Sheila Johnson, $770 million. If y'all don't know who Sheila Johnson is Bob Johnson's or Robert Johnson's ex-wife. Now, I don't want to say that to diminish her status because she helped Bob Johnson, build Black entertainment television. She helped build that mega empire, and they wound up selling it to Viacom for several $billions. There it is, $2.9 billion. So they sold BET in 2001 for $2.9 billion. But guess what, folks? BET is not Black owned. Black owned entertainment television is not Black owned. I know everybody thinks it is. It is not. It's owned by Viacom. And if you need to get an understanding of the complexion of the shareholders, just look them up. It's not Black owned. But I will say this. I know Tyler Perry is doing something with BET, with some of his writing and some of his television shows. I know supposedly there was some type of equity stake or revenue sharing that he's involved with. He said as much. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right, so this is number 2. So I'm having a hard time reading this name, so forgive me, y'all. Florora Runshu. I'm not going to try the last name, but she's worth $1 billion. Sis is worth $1 billion. Now, by the way, this article is from April of this year, April of 2021. So that's why Rihanna's numbers are a little off. But Rihanna would have moved up the ladder significantly since then, according to Forbes. All right, so this lady is the vice chair of Fama Oil, a Nigerian oil company whose partners include Chevron, Petrobras, Forbes reported. Now, here's an interesting fun fact for y'all to keep it on the investment side. Anybody know where the majority of oil the United States gets that they refine into gasoline? Keyword, they refine into gasoline. Well, they get it from Nigeria. Nigeria is the biggest import of gasoline refined oil. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people think everybody gets, or the United States gets everything in terms of oil from Saudi Arabia. Actually, the United States produces more oil than they actually import now. So they produce more oil internally in the United States than they import from across the seas. And they buy a lot from Canada and Mexico as well. All right. So number 1 on the list, the big O, Oprah Winfrey, $2.6 billion. Again, $2.6 billion. Oprah Winfrey, who's at a 25-year-long show, magazine, news network. Everybody loves Oprah. supposedly. Some people don't like anybody that's making money, but this isn't the show for them. But yeah, Oprah is doing her thing. So again, in honor of Equal Pay Day for Black women, which is August 3rd, I figured I would dig a little bit deeper than just go surface on talking about that. Let's talk about some of the sisters who actually get money, doing great things, um, being a great asset in their communities at large. So keep that in mind, y'all. Keep that in mind. Now, if anybody has any questions, stocks, taxes, money, real estate, go ahead and throw them in the chat, and we will get at it. So, yep, go Riri. Jody says go Riri. Stephanie Jones says Fendi changed the makeup game. Well, I don't really wear makeup, so I don't know. I just read the articles. All right, Jody says inclusion. Yeah, inclusion is important. And yes, hella dope, super dope. Yep. So let's see. Some other people have joined us on the IG squad. International Hove is here. Big Fan 40 is here. 1Q Zada is here. I hope I said your name right. But let's get at it. I know Don Johnson had a question. And 1Q, I think you had a question too, right? I did a bad job of keeping my questions today. Let me see if I can find that question. Let's see. All right, so Don Johnson wants to know about the Robinhood IPO. Well, listen, you already know I am not a fan of IPOs. Again, IPO stands for initial public offering. IPO is when a private company transitions to a public company, or when a private company transitions to be able to take public investments from just about anybody. All right. Now, usually I'm not a fan of IPOs because usually the smaller investor gets ripped off on those days. So that's why I'm not a super duper big fan of IPOs. However, we went through the Robinhood IPO last week. We looked at the S1. We see that the companies are making money for about the last year and a half, almost 2 years. They had a big jump during COVID. Why? Because a lot of people started investing. So guess what? Robinhood was able to make money off of the fees. And Robinhood had a failed IPO, which is basically when they don't exceed the opening day's listing price or open price. But that didn't stop them. They kept making money. The stock, that is, they kept making money. So let's see. You know what? Let's do this. Let's look at the chart, and then we'll find some of the articles that are being written on it. I talked about it a lot. They are a profitable company. They are well positioned in the beginner investor segment of the marketplace. They are providing more tools for intermediate and advanced investors. So I think they're well positioned. But as I always said, I think I'll watch, right? I'm never in a rush to jump in on an IPO. I'll watch. All right, so give me a second here as I pull up the chart. Ticker symbol is HOOD, HOOD. So Robinhood is really in the hood. So let's check this out real quick. Give me 1 second and I will pull it up on the screen. Apologies to everybody who's watching on IG, everybody who's watching or listening on the replay of the podcast. There's just some technological things I can't overcome just yet. So I can't beam out the picture of the screen just yet. We'll have to figure that out at some other point. All right. So right now I am putting on the chart or on the screen. I'm putting on the screen the chart for Robinhood. Remember, this is not investment advice, y'all. This is not investment advice. We are only talking about things for entertainment and educational purposes only. That's it. So don't say, well, Kamari told me to buy Robinhood. No, I didn't. You lying. Don't lie on me. I don't like liars. All right, so let me blow this up a little bit bigger. Blow this up a little bit bigger. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, AK Spurs UA. How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? All right, so Robinhood has been trading for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Right? Remember, I said we talked about it last week. They went public. They pulled the trigger last Thursday. They hit the market last Thursday. Hell of a jump. They opened at 38. It dipped, went down to about $35.68. Fell. Well, it opened up lower the next day. Closed at about $34. No, closed at about $35. Next day, I believe that was this is Monday, I believe, right? Right, August 2nd. August 2nd, they opened at $35.97, and then they closed at $37.68. $37.68. So they started to climb. And then, oh boy, did it start to run. So the next day, which was yesterday, which was Tuesday, all right, it opened at $37.91, closed at $46.80. So this thing is starting to pick up steam. Then today opened at, what did it open at? Can't see it. Let me see. Opened at, why is it not there? Oh, there it is. Opened at $54.45. Ran up to $85. Had a low of $54.40, then closed at $70.39. So it had a whirlwind day today. It was definitely on a roller coaster ride. But that's to be expected in these new stocks, in these new IPOs. That's to be expected in this environment, so to speak, because we have a lot of newbies kind of just jumping in, trying to get rich quick, trying to hit it and quit it, and right off into the sunset. Investment, especially from the perspective I talk about it here on this show, is from a long-term perspective. 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, right? I don't really talk about fly-by-night things. I don't talk about, not here anyway, I don't talk about things that just kind of pop, right? So you're seeing some of the articles that are saying that, oh, is Robinhood a meme stock now? Even though most of the meme stocks suck, right? What's a meme stock? Your AMC's, right? AMC's, GameStop. Those are probably the two most famous ones. There were others. But, Robinhood's been running. People have interest in it. I do think it's well positioned. I don't know if I want to commit my money to it, but I will watch. I will be watching. All right. DV Brownton, how are you? Welcome. So, it just depends. But listen, when you get into an investment, when you're thinking about an investment, make sure you do your homework. Don't just buy it because everybody else is buying it. Don't be sheep, y'all. Bah is not in your vocabulary. Please don't be sheep. Don't just run along and follow along the crowd just because somebody else is buying. Do your own research. Figure out what is good for you. Right? Time horizon. When will you need the money is one of the most important things when it comes to long-term investments. All right? When will you need the money? If you need money next month for groceries, for the light bill, for the gas bill, for your car note, for your mortgage, please don't go throwing money into the stock market thinking that you're going to get a real quick hit. I see a lot of people go broke like that. First class Mel, how are you? Welcome. All right, please don't do that. It is not a good look. All right, so who has questions? Does anybody else have any questions? Now, I believe 1Q Zeta had a question. Let me see if I can find it. Is that correct, 1Q Zeta? I think we talked yesterday on Instagram. I'm gonna have to start making this a little bit smoother. I told you I was gonna have everybody start texting me the questions just so I could have it there ready and easy to find, so I'm not running all over the place. So let's see. Let's see if I could find it. Let's see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I have to go over to the Instagrams. Let's see. Um, was it this one? I put a video up called "Should You File Taxes on a New Business?" Let's see. The fact that I still have this new setup, I don't have like all my mics in play. Oh, that's not it. That ain't it, y'all. That ain't it. That ain't it. Let's see. Oh, next post. That's not it either. Let's see. I think it's this one. I shared a post about some dividends I received. Oh, and it wasn't it wasn't one Qzada. It was I think it's a D9, the D9, the divine nine isms. I think that's how you say it. Let's see. Let me put it up on the screen because I did promise to talk about it today on the show. So give me 1 second, everyone. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat. Go ahead and throw them in the chat. Give me 1 second and I will pull it up. Let's take a look at it. So yesterday I put up a post on our Instagram just talking about some AT&T dividends that I received and how anytime I get any dividends, I then usually, not always, but just about every time I get dividends, I turn around and I reinvest the dividends back into the stock that paid the dividend. So yesterday I got a $9.97 dividend from AT&T. I took it back and just put in $10 into AT&T. They pay a great dividend, but they are definitely in by rocky waters. They are not the best dividend company right now, but that's my stock, and I'm gonna stick beside them. All right, so let's see. Let me try to blow that screen up a little bit more so everybody can see the question, but I'll definitely repeat it so everybody can hear it. Everybody put a 1 in the chat if you can see this clearly. So it says, I have a question and not sure how to ask. So I have been buying only stocks that pay dividends on Cash App. Now, y'all know I talk about Cash App. Today, my dividends were more than expected. Let's see. All right. What happens now? I want to let it sit. And when will I have to pay taxes on it? All right. So repeating the questions. I have a question. I'm not sure how to ask it. So I have been buying only stocks that pay dividends on Cash App. So she's a dividend investor. Today, my dividends are more than expected. What happens now? I want to let it sit. And when will I have to pay taxes on it? All right. Y'all got that? Now, I know I responded to this question. Try to respond to all my questions, but I don't think I can get to it here. Oops. All right. So, question: dividends. Cash is sitting in the bank or in the Cash App account, the brokerage account. Not sure what to do with it. Not sure if she should just let it sit or should she do something else with it. So it really depends on what your goals and objectives are. But I said to her, one of the greatest ways to build wealth is compounding. Compounding growth is magical. So if you take the money that you got in the dividends, reinvest it back into the dividend, then you get to buy more shares. And every time you buy more shares, you potentially get a larger dividend the next time dividends are paid out. So I would suggest you do that. Now, again, this is not investment advice. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. However, you can go in and you can run a quick simulation, run some quick calculations, and you could look at some of the companies that have paid great dividends. And what would have happened, let's say you put $100 a week, or $100 every pay, right? And let's assume every pay is every 2 weeks into that. So that's $200. What would that look like over a 10-year span? What would that look like over a 20-year span, a 30-year span, a 50-year span? Because remember, compounding is not just your money growing, but the dividends and or interest on top of it growing. So it has this multiplier effect. And at the end of the day, our job is to become multipliers of wealth at the end of the day. That should be the goal of everybody, right? Because at the end of the day, and I'm not talking about multiplying wealth for materialism's sake, but I'm talking about multiplying wealth from a family position, from a community position, not just to go buy some fancy luxury clothes, which is nothing wrong if that's what you like, right? But to take care of your children and make sure your children's children are able to do better than you did. Not necessarily have more or get more, but do better, have the tools to do better. I think many of the parents get it confused where they might have had some hard times growing up as a child, and so they want to buy the kids all the new toys. Well, no, they don't need new toys. They need new experiences. They need new lessons. So it's not just about having money for the sake of having money. It's about having money to create a legacy, a generational legacy, hopefully. Brown Beauty 87, welcome. All right, so that was the question I had. So I don't know if anybody else has any other questions, but feel free. Go ahead and throw them in the chat. We'll stay on for a few more minutes, and we will have a good old time. So anybody else have any other questions about what they're seeing in the markets? A lot of people are buying the Robinhood stocks because they think it's a cheap stock. A lot of times people love to buy the IPOs because they've been talked about. IPOs are actually great marketing campaigns. People don't realize that. They think they're great investment announcements, which they are, right? But they're also there to bring exposure to the company that's issuing it. Because every news organization is going to cover it. It's a great way to get PR and to get more bang for your buck. So, again, marketing, and a lot of these IPOs is what's happening. A lot of what's happening. But again, this is the Finance Rebel Show. Today is our Wealthy Wednesday segment where I answer your questions. So if you have any questions, stocks, business, taxes, go ahead and throw it in the chat and we'll get at it. We will get at it. Don't everybody speak all at once. But if nobody has any other questions, I will see you the next time. I appreciate you all being here. Make sure y'all be diligent about your studies. Make sure you're practicing your lessons. Make sure you are implementing the things that you're learning, right? It's one thing to learn. It's something else to do. We have to do both. It's important for us to learn and do, right? Because that's how you really, really, really cement the lessons into your head by actually doing. But I appreciate you all being here tonight. I'll be back the next time. I don't think I'm going to be back this Saturday, but I might be. You never know. I might do a pop-up. But until the next time, I will see you all at the next Financial Rebel Show. Wealthy Wednesdays, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Everybody have a great night. And thanks again for coming by. Bye-bye.